What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So I'm trying this disembodied voice video type of deal. Let's see if you guys like it. I know a lot of other creators do it. Get good, better microphone sounds. Better voice quality. But you don't have my face. I'm gonna try to work on the camera thing. I gotta set it up and all that stuff. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the reason why I'm doing a video like this is because I wanted to talk about the next gen Xbox and PlayStation 6 specs. And this is kind of the only way to do it without sounding like a dummy. Like, oh, this one has more this, and I think I remember not. Just look at the paper, and the paper says it, and there's the paper. Now, this is from Moore's Law is Dead. Shout out to him for I don't know where he got this. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if he made all these numbers up. I'm just saying we're gonna compare what he believes is kind of true. Although I do have some theories about some stuff as far as the verbiage on this little guy over here. That stuff over there. That stuff. But why is it disappearing? That's weird. Anyway, so look at the Magnus. Look at Magnus first. AMD Magnus Xbox next gen console APU. Excuse me. So this is the chip itself right here. It's like the boom and the bligam. So this is the CPU, I believe, and this is the GPU, I believe. And you see that little thing right there? I don't know what that is. Anyway, so they have two things. They have two measurements, 144 and 264, totaling 408. Now, that is all of that right there. So I guess that's 144, then that's 264. So yeah, I was right before when I was hypothesizing about the which is what. So yeah, that's the smaller SoC and that's the bigger GPU. So that makes sense. My question is, what is this GPU equivalent to? I believe this is going to be equivalent to I don't know what it's going to be equivalent to, but they will probably use this in laptops and stuff. That's basically what the current gen consoles are right now. The APUs are just laptop. I mean, they put them in desktops because Digital Foundry literally made an Xbox. I think they made a PlayStation 2 out of the well, I know they made an Xbox one because they said, hey, there's the chip, and they were exactly the same. The boards were similar, but I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But anyway, moving on. So the TDP estimation, not 100%. Okay, whatever. Likely 250 to 350 watt. That's that's like a old school computer. You get one of them. You get a HP. All in one. Not all in one, but it's just like a computer where you can't really upgrade it. If you want to upgrade it, put a GPU and a power supply. You got to do some tomfoolery on it. Basically, that's what you get, a 300 watt power supply in them old computers and stuff. So what does this say on the PlayStation? What does it say on Orion side? 160 watt TDP. That's lower, which means less power, which means less power consumption, which lends to the theory of them doing a kind of like a Switch, basically, a low power handheld thingy that you can dock. How many times do I have to say that the PlayStation lacks any creative juices anymore? They have zero creative talent as far as originality. It's like, oh, what are they doing? Are they making a lot of money? Let's do that. Instead of innovating. And people are like, oh, they do innovate. They have VR. They didn't innovate on VR. They copied what everybody else was doing. Just like they're doing now. Just like they've always done. Excuse me. By the way, this is the second time recording this because the first time I'm a dummy. Anyway, I'm not going to even explain how I messed up the first recording, which was about 20-something minutes. That's fine. I'm not. It's trial and error. It's trial and error. I know what's going on now. So anyway, moving on. So 68 times RDNA 5 CUs disabled from 70, right? So they're going to disable 2 to make it boom, 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 right? What do they have over here? 40 to 48. So here's my thing about this. First off, they didn't give any speed. They didn't give any gigahertz on this. maybe this is what I don't. Yeah, I don't even know what this means. This the shader engines. I know they had them they have them in the current Xbox series, and I believe they only have 2 shader engines, 1 or 2 shader engines, and 2 shader arrays total. So I just read this actually. 4 shader engines. Each shader engine has 2 shader arrays, so that's 4 shader arrays. Anyway, math. So they don't have the gigahertz. Why does PlayStation have 3+ gigahertz, but this doesn't? Why did no gigahertz on here? There's like more information here, but why? You know what I'm saying? Is that, I don't know. See, okay, 160 or 192-bit bus width. I'm gonna say 160 because what PlayStation's trying to do is try to keep this real cheap, and real like low powered, so that they can accommodate their little handheld, whatever. My laptop is screaming right now. Anyway, so all this shader array stuff, I gotta look into that stuff. I don't even know what WGB means. Maybe somebody in the comments know. I have no idea. Anyway, at least 24 megabytes L2 cache for the GPU, which is good. The more, the better. They don't have any. They don't say anything about the. Oh, there is no. I was like, where's the GPU over? Oh, that's right. They don't have one because it's it's an APU. So it's all. And this is where like the difference between these two are like, okay, so this seems more complicated, right? But it seems like it's more akin to an actual traditional like PC has it. APU, SoC right here, and the GPU separate, and they're right next to each other, so they talk to each other. Meanwhile, over here, it's just this part. It's just the APU. It's bigger, yes, but that's all they have. So I do not know how they do it. I don't know, how it's separated out. Maybe it's similar on the die, but this for some reason they're pointing out that this is a separate GPU section on the die. I guess it's the chiplet. Guess that's what the chiplet stuff means. Once again, I'm not sure. Anyway, moving forward, up to 3x Zen 6 and 8x Zen 6C. See, now I don't know what the Zen 6C means, and I'm not sure the difference between level 3 and level 2, and I believe level 1. I think level 3 handles more bits at a time. I think because I remember watching something that they kind of did the 3 levels, the cache levels, and the higher the level, the higher the cache level, the more bits it used. So like for example, level 3 might be 8-bit, level 2 might be 4-bit, and level 1 might be 2-bit or something. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on it. And correct me in the comments. If y'all know in the comments, let me know. And then, because learning is great. So if you could learn me something, that'd be cool. But I think that's how it works. So 12 megabytes of L3, which would be double. No. And that's is that just for the APU? Huh. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here. What does it say over here for? It doesn't really. It's like rasterization performance estimated to be around 3 times less. Let's just say less than 3 times. They say around 3 times. It's less than 3 times PS5 performance. Ray tracing uplift expected to be higher. So yeah, I hope the ray tracing is better. I mean, it's like, oh, it's expected. Yes, it's expected. It's yeah. But like, I mean, there's minimal. The 32 gig transfers per second. I mean, okay, sure. Once again, they're giving us speeds of the CUs and of the RAM. No speeds here. No nothing. So can we infer that this GDDR7 is the same as this? So we could just take this 32 and slap it over here. Can we say, oh, the compute units same speed, 3 gigahertz plus? Can we slap that over here? That's where these two things are like, they're not contradictory, but I just like, It seems like there's a little extra over here, and you had plenty of room to put plus over here and stuff, and just make this a little bit smaller. You have room. Come on, son. Anyway, did that 192 versus 160. I don't know about it. He said or whatever. No, ain't no or. They going for the cheaper ones. So anyway, NPU with up to 110 tops at 6 watts or 46 tops at 1.2 watts, 2 power consumption modes. Wow, really? Is that what that means? I have no idea what a top is. Something operation points something. I can't remember what the acronym is. I never knew what it was actually. So, but because I mean we know T-flop is something floating point operation, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I have no idea what that means in relation to an NPU. Like, how does that, for me, how does 110 tops conjugate into performance? Whether it's, what does it allow? Does it allow for upscaling from a certain base resolution to a top super high base resolution with like 0 artifacts, or these are things that I'd like some literature on, or someone to explain. I don't know if I want Digital Foundry to explain, because they sometimes are long-winded and they speak like everybody knows what the hell they're talking about, and I'm like, I know about 82% of what you say. But you start going in on some stuff, I'm like, I don't know. Nah, I just turn out and tune up. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Target launch for 2027. And this one is manufacturing plan for mid-2027 with a likely fall 2027 or early 2028 release. If you're manufacturing in June, you're starting to manufacturing plan for June of that year. Do you think they're going to come out in the fall? I don't think so. I think they need more than 6 months. I mean, it's going to be more than 6 months. So I'm going to say early 2028. So I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to say. Here's my prediction. My prediction is that the Magnus will launch before Orion. Oh, Orion. That's not a good, that's a bad, it's not even like inspiring. It's just like, Orion. Do they use like all constellations? I think they do. But I mean, Xbox is like, I said this before, they know how to name their code names of the consoles. It's always like Project Scorpio, Durango, Magnus. And then the actual console comes out, it's like, it's like, oh, that's not, you should just leave it I would buy an Xbox Magnus, and I'd be happy with the name. And the price would be high, but that's fine. And you know what? I did exactly what all these other fools are doing, right? So this news came out. The Magnus, look at all these specs, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, blop, right? And then they said, I mean, it's going to be more powerful than the PlayStation 6, but it's also going to be more expensive. That's what I heard. Over and over again, every other content creator and their mama talking about it's going to be more expensive. It's going to be expensive. Yes, you get what you pay for. What do you expect to get, like, some no-frills stuff? I mean, what price do you want? Now, I'm not condoning to break a brother's wallet, but I'm just saying, this looks like it's going to be nice. And I'm bracing for the price. I'm going to try to get one. If I can't get one right away, I'm going to just wait. That's how I do. I wait. I might wait a year or so. That's how I've always kind of been with the consoles. I don't think I ever bought I think I bought the Dreamcast day. I think I bought it the day it launched. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But what else? Saturn I didn't wait, because I mean those consoles like disappeared real fast. But like the Xbox 360, I think I waited. The Xbox, the OG Xbox, I definitely waited like a year or two. And yeah, so I always waited. I was like, oh, I'll wait. And especially now, it's like a lot of it is cross-gen. Like the PlayStation 6 is going to be so cross-gen. I mean, look, literally backwards compatible to PS5 and PS4 generations. So that means developers can literally make a PlayStation 4 game for the PlayStation 6. Do you see what the problem is over at PlayStation? And y'all ponies and donkey unicorns are going to be like, oh my gosh, PlayStation 6, look at those graphics, look at the T-flops, and look at the 48, look at the Zen, look at the... I mean, what can they brag? I'm trying to find something to pull out of to brag about. 32 gigatransfers per second, so fast. I don't know what they can say. It's not gonna be the most powerful console, obviously. So they're gonna what they're gonna do. This is what's gonna happen. They're going to brag about the price. They're gonna be like, oh, it's so affordable, yeah, blah blah blah. You know, and maybe that'll help, sure. But it's gonna be. I don't know. Is it going to be a closed platform, just like the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4? If it is, they're up for some... I don't even know if it's competition at this point. I think it's just like they're just there. And they become kind of a bespoke, kind of like a niche, kind of like toy over there. It's like, oh, yeah, that's the PlayStation with just PlayStation stuff. Well, you can't play Steam games? No, you can't. What? Play Steam games on a play? You funny. How you gonna play Steam games on a PlayStation? Do you know what a PlayStation even is? You can't do nothing but play PlayStation games on a PlayStation. It's like, what are you talking about? You want a Magnus? And you get a Magnus, you can play everything. You can play the Xbox, you can play Steam, you can play Go games, Ghetto games, you can play Epic games, you can play with MS-DOS games, you can play everything. You could boot up some emulators and play some stuff. You just put your little cartridge in. You know what they should do? I don't know. I guess it would be a OEM type of deal. Like all the different OEMs would have to sign up. Or maybe it could be a third-party thing. But they need to make, for these emulators at least, make like cartridge adapters for like a USB. Like give me a little USB hub that has like a Genesis adapter, and just plug it into your computer, and you load up your emulator, and you go blam, you put your cartridge in, and it works. It's like why can't it do that? Why can't it do that? That's my question. I mean, maybe it's a dumb question. Obviously, it's easier to just have ROMs on your hard drive and stuff, but I got a bunch of cartridges. I want to play them. It would be dope if I could plug in a little box that had all the holes in it, and put the cartridge in the hole, and boom, that would be dope. That would fix a lot of piracy and stuff. You know, if Nintendo's afraid of people stealing their games, just make a little thing for your PC. I know they want people to buy the Switch and stuff, but make a little. Yeah. But you know what the problem with that is? That then people will take that adapter thing and figure out how to rip the ROMs off of the cartridge onto hard drive or whatever, and then boom, get the ROMs off that. I mean, they have those already, so it's not like I'm talking about some mysterious magical technology. That's how you do it anyway. But I want something like official, like, you know. So it's just like, oh wow, that's cool, bam, and then you could have like a little cute little Genesis, like boom, and then it's just a shell. It just anyway. Sorry, tangent. But so this is I mean, it's funny. They have a picture of the chip here, Xbox's chip, but nothing over here. There's nothing over here. Zero. And I don't even want to read it. I read this before, and it made me upset because I'm like, how are you gonna kind of speculate about it being almost kind of close to Magnus? That's what this part right here. Don't read it. Don't read it. No. You're not gonna read that. See, make it small so you can't read it. Yeah. So look, chip to chip, Xbox wins. Chip to chip, Xbox the most powerful console next gen coming. We're already setting the stage for the console wars of next gen. You know. And people are like, oh, the console war is over. The console war. Look, all these punky unicorns, these donkey unicorns, these ponies, are trying to shovel out any type of narrative to disparage and to minimize Xbox's presence in the industry, right? So this whole week was a bunch of lies and a bunch of BS, right? And so it was all kind of debunked. It was all debunked, not kind of, but it was all debunked, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even go into that because I'm like, it's just ridiculous, right? But this is not ridiculous. This is what's popping. This is what's happening. Xbox, see, I made this bigger because it's more powerful than this little baby boy over here. This little chumpy chump. He's so cute. They talking about ray tracing. And then like rasterization is good. Yeah, rasterization is almost 3 times as PS. What do you think is gonna be over here with all of these big juicy numbers over here? What do you think? And you don't even have a line 7. You don't even have an NPU line. Nope. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this last line is kind of like, let's fluff it with some stuff. This is like spec with spec and spec with spec. This is actually more than, this is like 10 lines. There's 9 lines, 10 lines. Because they have sublines. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? And here it's like, well, okay, I guess this is 6 because they had the manufacturing right there. But everything else up here is like, oh, backwards compatible, heavy emphasis on shit, keeping power lower than PS5. It's like, nobody cares about that. The keep power lower than PS. Who cares? Give me the juicy numbers. Like over here, give me a picture of the chip. You know? But they're not doing that. Why? Because they don't want to look bad. And they're looking bad right now. And this is a bunch of hopium and copium kind of slapped in there, sprinkled on. Oh, maybe it might be as good like the Magnus. Maybe. It might have 48. Maybe. Like, okay, whatever you say, buddy. It won't have 68, though. 48. Imagine if it comes out with 48 and this has 60. 20 more CUs. That's not... Come on, son. And they didn't even say what the size of the die is on here. I can't remember what it is. It's 3 something. Obviously, it's 3 something because this one's 408. So, but anyway, I'm sorry, rambled enough. But I appreciate it. So like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Magnus versus the Orion. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you see the difference. You see the difference. Look at how big and juicy this is. And this is like, meh. Keep making me. They had to use crayons to circle stuff. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. And let me know in the comments also what you think about this disembodied video stuff. If you like this, I'll do more of these. Maybe I'll go on Twitter and look at some people's stuff and whatever. But anyway, let me know, and I appreciate, and talk down on the next one. Till the wait.